It was precisely in a national park surrounded by deserts that the Asian lion was saved from extinction, which was achieved thanks to the fact that the lion was the national animal of India. And this provided the inspiration for Karan Singh to undertake the even more ambitious project for the conservation of the tiger.
I discovered that the national animal of India was the lion at that time. Now, as you know, our national symbol has the 4 lions. There's a marvelous column from Ashoka's time showing the lions, which is why the lion was probably adopted as a national animal. However, it struck me that lions in India are found only in one state, in Gujarat, and there are only about a couple of hundred lions, whereas the tiger was at that time and still is widely dispersed throughout India, from the north to the south and from the east to the west. So I suggested, at my initiative, that we should change the national animal of India from the lion to the tiger. And that really set in motion this whole process of the tiger project. Because once we adopted the tiger as our national animal, then of course the question arose with regard to tiger conservation. And I discussed the matter with Madam Gandhi, and she was very supportive. She said, "What would you like to do?" I said, "I think we should have a special project to save the tigers from extinction."
The success of the Tiger Project is based on the understanding that, in order to save the species, we have to protect its habitat. It was no longer a question of watching over and caring for a given animal, but rather of saving the jungles in which the tigers lived, along with the prey they need to feed themselves. A pioneering vision which today guides all conservation projects.
It isn't only the tiger you safeguard, because once you safeguard the tiger, it means you have to safeguard the ecosystem which supports the tiger. So that's what we did. And we started off with 9 projects, and it has now grown, I believe, to about 18 or 20 tiger reserves. And at one stage, it was the most successful conservation project in the world, because the tigers had been hunted to the verge of extinction. Our estimate was that in the year 1900, there must have been about 50,000 tigers in India. When we started Project Tiger in the early 70s, there were hardly 2,500 or 3,000 tigers left.
In the interior of the last refuges of the Siberian tiger or the Amur tiger, teams of scientists take samples and carry out censuses of the tigers. This is part of an ambitious project financed by conservationist organizations from all over the world, especially the World Wildlife Foundation, aimed at saving the Siberian tiger. Since the fall of the Soviet Union, there has been an alarming decrease in the numbers of Siberian tigers. Across the Chinese border, which lies close to the last refuges of the Siberian tiger, the poachers have opened up a very lucrative trade route, taking advantage of the lack of means of the Russian Wildlife Department. With international funds, the Siberian Tiger Project is fighting against this illegal traffic. While the scientists investigate in order to create an appropriate conservation plan, new patrols and new teams are joining the fight to save the tiger. In Russia, India, Indochina, or any of the other countries that still have tigers, the situation of the tigers of the world is so alarming that constant monitoring by the guards is necessary. The territorial nature of the tigers makes it easy to monitor them and to carry out censuses. But the jungles in which they live are not easy places to move around in. In many parks, the elephant is the best, safest vehicle. But when the trail of a poacher is detected, great care is needed, and the men must enter the territory of the tigers on foot. A wounded tiger and an armed poacher are equally dangerous, and that means that the park wardens require exhaustive training, something which costs a lot of money. The conservationist organizations provide part of the budgets, but the parks are now becoming increasingly self-financing.